Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. I would like to begin by asking you to pray with me, my preacher's prayer. So everyone just take a deep breath in and call in the Spirit of God and just release everything that does not serve you as you exhale. So we breathe in the Spirit of God and we exhale everything that does not serve us. And I am knowing that the Spirit of God will be upon us. I am knowing the words I deliver will be the Christ words to your ears. I'm knowing that I will be the presence and the voice of Christ for each of you. I'm knowing that I will be the mirror of others seeing their Christ self. I'm knowing that I will share the one presence, one power, God the good, the omnipotent. Thank you. I'm going to be reading from the New Interpreter Study Bible, the New Revised Standard Version. And the verse I'm going to be reading is Matthew 9:9 through 13. As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. And as he sat at dinner in the house, many tax collectors and sinners came and were sitting with him and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" But when he heard this, he said, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I have come to call not the righteous, but sinners." And so it is. Interesting. So let's revisit this story. So let's say I am Matthew, a tax collector, and I'm sitting at my booth, and located off of the main highway. I'm just sitting there where all the farmers and merchants come and pay me their taxes on what they carry. I'm a pretty mean guy because I charge them a lot of taxes, usually more than they owe, because I want to put a little bit of that money in my pocket. And I don't even have to worry because they will listen to me, because the Roman soldiers will make them. So I'm sitting there collecting taxes. Then I hear a man who I've never met before say, "Follow me." I do not know why, but I know I have to follow this man. I'm just going to leave my tax collecting job, and I know I'm going to follow this man wherever he goes. And just like that, I pick up my stuff and I follow him. And I take him to my house. And I have a big dinner. It's almost, I'm giving myself my own going away celebration. And I invite all of my other friends, my tax collector friends, and probably some of the lower end of society, what some people might call sinners. Now, all of a sudden, I see a group of these righteous religious men. You know them as the Pharisees, who come along. I do not know why, but they start criticizing Jesus. And they start criticizing me and the other disciples. And they're saying, why does Jesus, this man, eat with these terrible people? We are very religious and we are very righteous people, and we would never be eating with sinners. And then, you know what happens? Jesus responds with a very interesting line. He says, "Healthy people have no need for a doctor, but the people who need a physician are those that are sick. Then he tells the Pharisees to go, not sit there, but go and learn what this means. And he sums it up with this very interesting sentences. He says, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Very interesting writings and words from Jesus. So there's a few questions one might have from this story. Number one was, when we think of tax collectors, we're not thinking of bad people. So why was it so bad to be a tax collector? And then the second question is, why does Jesus feel that the Pharisees don't really understand his purpose, what his purpose is here? I think we might move further and find out the answers to those questions. So what is Jesus trying to say to us in this story? Let's talk first about tax collectors. In that ancient time, tax collectors were not respected, not liked. They were almost a group of people that were hated. They helped to benefit the rich, and they took unscrupulously from the poor. They would take more than the poor even owed to line their own pockets. And then on top of it, the people had to obey them because they were being protected by the Roman government. We are really, really talking about the scum of the earth. And if you look at them as a group of people, okay, where they're being judged just because they're tax collectors. Maybe there were some good tax collectors that did their jobs. Maybe there were some that didn't take more than they were owed by the people. But as a group, they were hated. And if we take that line of thought, we might determine that they may have been the marginalized in that community and society. Now, from the standpoint of the Pharisees, okay, now we have these very religious and righteous people. How many of you know religious and righteous people that may be a little judgmental, or maybe be a lot judgmental? So these Pharisees saw others as non-scholarly, and they knew more about religion, and they knew more about religious laws, and they obeyed all of the religious laws. Okay, they were truly, in their minds, religious and righteous. But how many of you think they might have been very, very judgmental? And so I have to ask myself, how often do I categorize a group of people and have my biases, stereotypes, prejudices against them? It happens in the blink of an eye. I might see a homeless person that's probably not homeless. They are actually just figured out another way to make money. But I'm going to judge them, okay? I'm going to judge them. Or I might have someone that I don't agree with in their political views. And I might go, well, I'm so loving and I go to Unity and I'm so compassionate. And if they don't think the way that I do politically, they cannot be religious at all. How could you ever think that way and be religious? So, now Jesus tells the Pharisees, okay, these righteous people to go out and learn what he desires, which is mercy and not sacrifice. Interestingly, he does not tell them what it means or how to do this, but he sends them out into the world. So what is Jesus saying to us? I think it might be to go out and be with the marginalized. Although, I'm going to use a little different term for marginalized than you're used to. I'm going to say those are the people that you have judgment around. These are the people that you, because of your views, judge them below you. They may be your neighbor who has obviously an addiction that you would never have. It might be that person that has a different political view than you do on maybe some very controversial and ethical decisions. And so, you're saying, oh, I'm such a better person than them. So the question is, who do you have judgment around? Who do you marginalize? And so Jesus tells these Pharisees that he wants for them to go out and give mercy. Now, mercy is an interesting word. In the Revealing Word, written by Charles Fillmore, the word mercy, metaphysical's meaning is Christ-like treatment toward the suffering. So what would Christ-like treatment be to the marginalized? It would be being present with that person as your equal, not above them and not below them. It would be listening to that person's viewpoints and considering them. That does not mean you have to agree with them, but you can consider them. It would be showing compassion. It would be serving them. It would be, mercy would show up as unconditional love. It would be knowing your oneness with that person. So what I'm going to ask you to do this week may be a little bit difficult. Definitely an opportunity for spiritual growth. So this week, I would ask that you pick one person that you've had some judgment around, maybe quite a bit, and see if you can spend some time with them. See if you can take them out to lunch, get a cup of tea, bring them some flowers, do something nice for them. Go and have a conversation. And go and see that person as the Christ self that they are. Go and express your oneness with that human being. So this is the good news. That you will be an expression of your Christ self as you go out into the world with the tax collectors and the sinners, the people that you have judged, and express the divine being that you are with the other divine being that they are. And so it is. Amen.